This is a serious problem. Saquon Barkley was announced as the cover athlete for Madden 26, and the reason why there's a problem is because of the history of running backs who have appeared on the cover of the game. There have been 6 running backs that have been featured on the Madden cover, none of which have had very good seasons or were hit with the Madden curse to some degree. The first being Eddie George, who was featured on Madden 2001, and the expectations for the Titans that year were to be one of the best teams in the NFL. And they achieved that. They were 13-3, and they were the number 1 team in the AFC. But George had a key bobble in a playoff game against the Ravens, who went on to win the Super Bowl. And he probably was one of the more successful players despite having a 3.7 yards per carry average. And after that, Eddie George never reached the playoffs again. On Madden 2003, Marshall Faulk was the cover athlete, but after having a stretch of 4 straight years in which he rushed for at least 1,300 yards, in 2002, he didn't even break the 1,000-yard mark. And after that, he never even broke 1,000 yards for the rest of his career. Madden 2007 featured Sean Alexander, the Seattle Seahawks running back, who was the MVP that season after he rushed for 1,880 yards. However, 2006, the curse got to him as he broke his leg, and then he was quickly out of the league by 2009. The most infamous curse that has ever hit is Peyton Hillis, who had an out-of-nowhere crazy season in 2010, where he rushed for over 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. But sadly, after that point, he didn't even get over 600 yards rushing and quickly fell out of the league after that and completely disappeared. One of the few relative success stories was Adrian Peterson, who was the MVP in 2012, where he rushed for 2,000 yards. But the following season, he dropped all the way down to 1,200 yards after dealing with multiple injuries. For the first 7 years of his career, Peterson averaged 1,400 rushing yards, but after that, that dropped all the way down to 600 yards per season for the final 8 years of his career. And then lastly, Christian McCaffrey, who was featured on Madden 2025, was supposed to be one of the biggest reasons for the 49ers' success, but he suffered multiple injuries, especially Achilles tendonitis, that prevented him from even reaching the field in most weeks. Comment below, do you think that Saquon Barkley is going to be safe from the Madden curse?